Hey guys, today I'm going to be listing out my top 10 favorite family coasters I've ridden. These are not really thrilling coasters, these are just meant more for the families. However, there are some family coasters that are actually pretty good, so I feel like it was good to do a countdown. So let's get started here, shall we? Coming at number 10 is Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts at Universal Studios, Florida. This dark ride slash coaster hybrid, this is a really neat attraction. When I first rode it, I was seriously blown away. I was surprised by its theming and overall experience. When I ride it nowadays, it's not blowing me away as much as it did when I first rode it. Probably just simply because I rode it, I'm used to it. But man, I did not think a ride would be like this, and I was speechless at the end. I'm like, man, that's so cool. I can't wait to do this more often. And it's a good ride. I think it's decent. Is it my favorite ride out there? No. Do I enjoy it? Absolutely. I don't think I've even vlogged about riding this coaster. If I have, just let me know. I think I forgot if I vlogged this or not. I don't think I have, but I do enjoy Harry Potter's Escape from Gringotts. I think it's a good, solid family attraction. Also, the theming is absolutely incredible. This is probably the best themed coaster I've ever ridden. And yeah, like, come on. Dragon breathing fire in the station. That's just, the entrance. That's just super cool. And plus, it's in an area that's like Diagon. It's called Diagon Alley. It's in an area. It's in that Diagon Alley area, so yeah, it makes it even better. It really immerses you in the Wizarding world. Number 9, we have a classic. This is Space Mountain at Magic Kingdom. This is a neat roller coaster. It's a dual track coaster. I mean, they both are not different. They both do basically the same thing. They're mirror images of each other. But this ride's fun. Not very intense not very intense at all, but it's just a lot of fun. You do get some good airtime while you're on the ride. You get some neat airtime. It's actually fairly smooth for its age. I was surprised at how smooth it was. Probably because I was riding the front. But yeah, it's also pretty dark inside there. Not as dark as I thought it would be when I rode this, last year in 2017. It wasn't as dark as I thought it would be. I mean, definitely, it's not pitch black. I mean, it's near pitch black. I will admit, it is so close to pitch black darkness. There's one point where it's actually pitch black, but I think the stars kind of help it, like give more of that space feeling. But the theming is incredible in this ride. Like, it's easy to feel because this ride's a classic, and it shows that these rides like these are here to stay. It's a vintage roller coaster. So yeah, also they're putting the Tron coaster next to this ride, and I remember people were saying that they might remove this coaster. However, I hope they don't, and they probably won't because it's a classic. And classics are here to stay. Number 8, we have Scorpion at Busch Gardens, Tampa. This coaster is just flat out intense. It's a classic. It's fairly smooth for its age. It's got tons of G-force from the loops to the helix, and of course that drunk guy helix. This ride is just full of force, and it's just amazing. The lines for this ride tend to get fairly long, so it's because of one-train operations, which that kind of sucks. But I mean, it's a fun coaster for sure. Do I love it? No. Do I enjoy it? Yes. So yeah. One thing I want to mention real quick. I did have another Forge Golf Looper in this list, or like 2 classics, the Comet and Trailblazer, which Comet and Super Duper Looper, which does probably make this list. However, I'm not including them in this video because I haven't ridden them in over a decade. So I feel like if I ever go back I need to go back to Hershey Park, and I need to ride them with a new perspective in order to put them back on these lists. But yeah, this is just simply from what I remember. But Scorpion is a good coaster. I do enjoy it. Number 7 is actually a coaster in the same park. This is Cobra's Curse. This is a Mack Rides spinning coaster, and this is a fun roller coaster. Very unique. It's one of the most unique coasters I've ever ridden. Definitely by far my favorite spinning coaster. I still have yet to ride some spinning coasters like Laugh Track, Spider. I still get to ride those. But this one's a fun ride, just because you start off forwards, then backwards, then you free spin. And have an elevator lift, and of course that iconic Cobra statue. This is the best themed coaster at Busch Gardens. It has the best theming. And this ride is just so much fun. Plus it's next to Monty, which is one of my all-time favorite coasters. And this ride is just it is a work of art. Plus, you can walk underneath the coaster or over the coaster. It's well not yeah over but yeah this ride just is such a neat experience, and you have to ride this if you ever go to Busch Gardens. Now again, lines tend to get long for this coaster, so it's one of the rides I've probably to just rank first when you get to Busch Gardens, but this is a fun roller coaster. I do really like this ride. Number 6, we have Rock and Roller Coaster at Disney's Hollywood Studios. This is a Vekoma LSM launch coaster, and everyone knows this coaster. This ride is fun. This is a great coaster built by Vekoma. Is this one of the smoothest Vekomas? I would say so. I do think it's one of the smoothest Vekomas out there. It's smoother than most Vekomas. Of course, because it's Vekoma, it's not the smoothest ride. You get a little head banging here and there. But I mean, if you sit towards the front, the chances of you getting head banging are a lot less than if you were in the back. The back row is kind of rough, but I mean, the launch. This ride has my favorite launch ever. I just love how it pumps you up. Like when you're sitting there, it just pumps you up. It's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you just launch into total darkness. That, I think, is a true launch. And of course, like most family coasters, the theming is great with this coaster. It's themed to Aerosmith, and it's just, the theming is amazing. I love Aerosmith. I am a fan of classic rock. Aerosmith is one of my favorite classic rock bands. Now, there are some rumors that the contract for Aerosmith may go away, and saying that it might change. One rumors that the theming would change to is Monsters Inc., which if they changed Monsters Inc., I would try to sue Disney. I'm just kidding. I won't sue Disney for that, but I would be so angry if they did that. Another rumor that I saw was possibly Van Halen, which Van Halen is my favorite rock band, actually. I love Van Halen. I would love to see, like, for instance, like going through the launch playing Hot for Teacher. I think that would be cool. Or Jump, or Panama. Or Ain't Talking About Love, You Really Got Me, Jamie's Crying, like, all those songs. Van Halen's a good rock band, but this is Rock and Roller Coaster. I think Rock and Roller Coaster is a good family coaster overall. Definitely one of the best family coasters out there, and one of the best Vekomas out there as well. Number 5, we have White Lightning at Fun Spot America in Orlando. This GCI might not look like much at all, but this roller coaster is so much fun, guys. It's also pretty intense as well. Like, okay, so you got tons of airtime, tons of twistiness. You feel out of control on this coaster. This is one of my favorite wooden coasters of all time. Plus, it is smooth for a wooden coaster. It is very smooth for a wooden coaster. Smooth compared to steel coasters? Nah, but it's smooth for what it is. It's definitely one of my favorite wooden coasters, my favorite GCI at the moment. Considering I need to do some rides like Mystic Timbers, Lightning Racer, Thunderhead. But this is a memorable roller coaster. I love White Lightning, and I cannot wait to do it again soon. Number 4 is Revenge of the Mummy, which is personally my favorite indoor coaster I've ever ridden. This roller coaster, whew, this thing is so much fun. My gosh, just inside the building is amazing. I love how it's like you start off as a dark ride, and then all of a sudden, like, and it starts kind of getting into a roller coaster. Then it does get into a roller coaster. I think it's a cool like concept, and like these special effects inside there are incredible. I love the fire, the mist. I mean, and also like the scrab beetles. I will admit the exit scene, the fake exit scene, is kind of cheesy. It is kind of weird. I think they should renovate that scene, I guess. But man, this roller coaster is fun. This is just a fun coaster. I try to ride it every time I go to Universal, and this ride is just amazing. I could definitely ride this a lot. Definitely my favorite indoor coaster I've ridden at the moment. Getting into the top 3, taking the silver spot is taking the bronze spot. My bad. I need to find my medal ways. Taking the bronze spot is Expedition Everest at Disney's Animal Kingdom. This family coaster I mean, it's a Disney coaster. It's a family coaster by far, but the fun factor is off the charts. This thing is so much fun. Every time I go to Animal Kingdom, I'm always so pumped to ride this coaster. I've been riding this coaster for almost all my childhood. I've been riding it since I was 4. Yes, I was that tall as a 4-year-old. And this ride is still, I love it to this day. My favorite part of this ride is probably when you're going backwards. I just love that feeling. You feel the G-force. If you're in the back, you do get some decent G-force if you're in the back. And the drop is fantastic. This is one of the best drops out there. And the Yeti is neat, even though it is, like, the term of the Yeti is right now the Disco Yeti. Oh well, I hope they fix the Yeti someday, just not now. And I love the lift hill. It's very iconic. You get some very iconic views when you're going up the lift hill. And overall, this ride is just so much fun. The mountain is gorgeous as heck. The whole bushes, greenery is just gorgeous. The queue line is gorgeous. This entire ride is gorgeous. Expedition Everest is a work of art. Personally, my favorite roller coaster and my favorite ride at Walt Disney World. It does not let up at all. Taking the silver spot, yes, now the silver spot, is Verbolten at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. This roller coaster, when I first heard about it in 2012, when I was like 10 years old, when I was kind of GP, kind of not, I was looking at this coaster and I just wanted to ride it so badly. It looks so cool. However, in April 2016, I finally got the chance to ride it when I went to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. And this is a fun roller coaster. I was surprised by how intense this thing was. When you're in the building, it can get very intense, especially during one of those helixes. I was literally so close to blacking out in one of those helix inside the building when I first rode it. The other 2 times I rode it about 3 times that day. I didn't feel close to blacking out. It was more like a gray out. I think the 3rd ride I did not even gray out at all, which is weird. But the thing that caught me off guard was the drop. I knew the drop was coming, but I didn't think it would be so aggressive. That's what surprised me with Verbolten. And the launches are fun. Now, I was a little disappointed by this coaster because of smoothness. It's not very smooth. It was kind of rough. Definitely has a bit of a rattle, bit of a bite to it. But that does not take away. It kind of takes away from the ride, but this ride is pretty fun. I know some people who do consider this ride to be the best coaster at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. I don't think like that. I don't think it's my favorite at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. I think Apollo's Chariot is the best ride there, or Alpengeist. One of the 2, they're both kind of tied. But this ride is a lot of fun. I love Verbolten. Definitely one of the best family coasters out there. Not my favorite though. My favorite family coaster, coming at number 1, the gold spot, taking the title as the best family coaster in my opinion, is the one and only Cheetah Hunt at Busch Gardens, Tampa. This roller coaster is just flat out so much fun. Oh my gosh, Cheetah Hunt. Man, this looks like a thrill coaster, but it's technically is in the term of a family coaster. But I love this ride. It is definitely one of the best steel coasters out there. But man, the thing that makes this ride so good is how long it is. It is an incredibly long ride. Over 3 minutes of ride time. 3 amazing launches. My favorite launch is that second launch where you go into that crazy figure 8 element. And also the airtime is good. It has some good airtime, especially that one airtime hill in the drop if you're in the back row. And plus, I mean, it is pretty smooth. It's not the smoothest. It definitely has a bit of a shakiness to it. We'll say that. But this coaster is just flat out awesome. This is definitely probably the most popular ride at Busch Gardens, Tampa. Definitely a ride you have to ride first when you go to Busch Gardens. And this ride is just fun. Definitely a ride you must not miss when you're at Busch Gardens, Tampa. So that will do it for this countdown. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. What are your favorite coasters? Stay tuned for more videos on my channel. I have a playlist of coaster countdowns if you want to check those out. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Have a beamtacular day.